Hello students, today we are going to see about how to develop an application to monitor corona status using retrofit library. First we will see some of the key terminologies in our application. First one is retrofit. Retrofit is an Android library to process REST API calls. It is a simple library which contains the functionalities to manage HTTP requests and HTTP responses. For example, you might have worked on java.io.star, java.util.star. Likewise, retrofit is also a simple Java library. An API, which means application program interface, it is just an URL to access the desired web server. For example, to access Google server, we are using www.google.com. To access Facebook server, we are using www.facebook.com. Likewise, to access the desired server, we are using a URL called the API. It is an interface to communicate with remote web servers. REST. Usually a web server contains multiple web services. To manage all those web services, we are using a mechanism called REST. And REST is a server-side technologies. We no need to concentrate more on that. We are only working on client-side technologies. And REST will generate the response in the form of JSON. JSON is a JavaScript object notation, and which is a universal template to generate a response so that anybody can understand the response easily. Next we will see how web services is working. For any web service, we need a web server. Then we'll need a database to store a data about particular context. Next, a client to access those data. First, client will send the request to the web server. The server will send the query to get the desired data. Database will send back the result to the web server using a data structure called cursor. And web server will generate the response object and send it back to client. Next, we'll see how our application is going to look like. And this is our application. Sorry, data is loading. Yeah, here is the data. And total confirmed cases is 45,16,222, which is around globe, and record cases is 15 lakhs, and total death is 3 lakhs. We'll see the status in India. Yeah, this is the status in India, which is 81 confirmed cases is 81,997, active cases is 44,028. Okay, now we will see how to develop this application using Android Studio. Next we will see how to develop this application using Android Studio. For that, open Android Studio, go to File, click New, and then New Project. New Project wizard will get open. In that, choose Empty Activity, then click Next. Next, you need to mention your application name, then the location where you want to save your application. Next, language, default Java. If you know Kotlin, you can choose Kotlin. Next, minimum SDK for your application. Then click Finish. If you click Finish, you'll get a project like this. Next, we need to include libraries of retrofit and JSON. Then only we can make HTTP calls to the remote server. For that, open build.gradle file. Here you have two build.gradle file. One is for project, another one is for module. open module build.gradle file. Here in the bottom of the file we'll have a dependency section. Inside that dependency section you need to mention all the libraries that you want to use, and these are all the default libraries for all project. Other than that, you need to mention another two libraries. One is retrofit, next is JSON. After including these two statements, just click sync with project. Before that, open Gradle tab and make sure that offline mode is disabled. If offline mode is enabled means, and these two packages will not get downloaded from the source, so it should get disabled, and you should need a internet connection to download these two packages. Once you click the sync with Gradle button means it will automatically download all packages mentioned in this dependency sections. Okay, the task is simple. First mention the libraries, then disable offline mode, and then click sync with Gradle files. Clear? Next we will see the result of that API, and this is the API that we are going to use, api.covid19api.com/summary. If you enter this URL in your browser means you get the result like this in JSON format, and I have said earlier about JSON. This is the JSON format, which is nothing but a key value pairs. First we have global data, then countries wise data, and here we have a object called global. Inside that we have new confirmed, total confirmed, new death, total death, new recovered, total recovered, like that. Likewise we have another object called countries, which is an array which contains information about all the countries. So we need to create a model for storing this data. Let us see how to create a model class. Next we will see how to create a model class. Model class is nothing but a plain Java class. We need two Java class. First one is for storing global data. For that, create a class called global data. Click enter. Inside that we are going to store all those global values. Just choose the values and paste it here and comment it. And we are going to create attributes for each field. Value is integer, so I mentioned it as integer. Likewise, I am creating attributes for all the fields given in the JSON file. Now the global data is over. Next we need to create a constructor for this. For that, right click, then generate, click constructor, choose the fields, then click OK. The constructor get generator. Next, getter and setter methods. Right click generate getter and setter methods, choose the fields for which you want to create getter and setter. I am selecting all the fields. Now getter setter method for all fields get generated. Okay. Model class for global data is over. Next we need to create model class for storing country's value. For that, create another class means country data. Now we have created model class for global data. Likewise, I have created model class for country data, and here I have mentioned all attributes to store the values of corresponding fields in the JSON file. And here country name is mentioned as country here, but here I have mentioned it as a country underscore name. To map this values, I have to mention an annotation called serialized name. At serialized name, we need to pass the actual field value as a parameter. Then this annotation will map the corresponding field with this attribute. Likewise, I have mentioned date as date info. Here for mapping, I have mentioned serialized name by passing actual field value as parameter. Here I have created a constructor and getter setter function for all attributes. Now model class for country and global data is over. Next we have to create a complete model to store both global and country value, because this JSON file contain both global and countries values. So we need to create another model class to store both global and arrays of countries value. For that we need to create another model class called summary. You can give any name. Inside summary, what are the values we have? Global data. I am creating a attribute to store global data. Likewise, a list of country data. Just press Alt Enter to import the packages. Now create a constructor. Right click, generate constructor, choose both attributes and click OK. Constructor has been generated. Next, generate getter setter function. Choose the attributes, generate getter setter function. Now complete model class has been created. First one is global data to store global values, country data to store country values. Next is summary to store global data and data of all countries. Next we need to create a API. For that, create API class, API interface. You can mention any name here. For understanding, I am giving API. Inside this we need to mention the URL from which we are going to get the data. Base URL equal to, just copy this base URL paste it here, not summary, just base URL only. Next, need to declare a function to get the values of COVID status. For that I need to give a annotation, say that we need summary. We need to mention values after base URL. Here summary is the value after base URL, so we are going to mention it here. Next is function to get that value. The return type is call type summary object. Next is function name, any name, COVID status. Okay, now API is created. Next we have to get the values from our application. This is the main activity of our application. Here I am going to generate object for retrofit library space retrofit equal to new retrofit dot builder dot base URL API. Inside that we are going to mention the URL inside the API interface. Next, dot add converter factory to convert the values into JSON format. So that mention JSON converter factory dot create. Finally we are going to build. Okay, we are going to build a retrofit object using retrofit.builder. For that we are passing a base URL inside the API dot base URL to convert the response values into JSON format. We are going to use this function add converter factory. Finally we are using build function to build the retrofit, and this is common for all web service application. Only this base URL is going to change. Next we need to create object for API through which we are going to make HTTP calls. For that API retrofit dot create API dot class, and this will return API object, and this is the object of this API interface, and that's what we are mentioning it here. If you have different name for this interface means, please change it accordingly. Next, call, we are going to make the HTTP call. For that API dot get COVID status, and this function will return summary data. To store it and to store the result we need a call object, so that we are having summary data. case call. Just press Alt Enter to import the package. Next, we have made a HTTP call through this statement. Now we need to get the values from that JSON file to our application. For that, we need a listener call dot enqueue new callback summary. Okay, and here if you get the correct response, means this on response function will execute, and if there is any failure in this in communicating with the web server, means this on failure function will get execute. So suppose we get the correct response, means we are going to display the data inside this response. Okay, for that, likewise on failure, to display the data we need a UI. For that, I am going to create a UI here. A default layout is constraint layout, shift home, delete, make it a linear layout, orientation, is vertical, and layout gravity center. Okay, first we need to store global data. Below that we have a text view, wrap content, text, and here we are going to mention total cases around the globe. ID total. Text size some 10 dp. Here I am giving text size some 20 dp. Okay, now to display the value in the text view, I need to declare a text view here TV. Next we need to map this TV object to the corresponding text view. Find view by ID r.id.id of that text view. Now here we are going to display the data inside the text view. Total affected case around the globe inside that text view. For that we need a value from the response. The response value will be in summary format. For that we are creating a summary object. Next, this response object dot body. Now the value is stored in S. Next, inside S we have total cases tv dot set text equal to, we are going to set the values of total cases inside the S dot get global data. Now it will return a global data object dot get total confirmed. Okay, here any failure we are going to display a toast. To communicate server. Okay, here display a toast in case of failure. Now we will run. We get an error called permission denied, and this error is occur because we failed to mention the permission to access internet. So we need to mention the permission inside manifest file. Mention the permission, use permission name and a permission dot internet. Sorry. Now we will run the application, and this is our application. Total confirmed cases is 52,94,041. Likewise, you can display multiple data in multiple text views using different UI components. Once you get to know about how to develop an application using API and retrofit library means, you can develop multiple mini projects using several free APIs. I will share those free APIs which will be useful for you to develop multiple mini projects. Okay, and in next video we'll see how to develop an application with awesome UI components like this. Okay, and here you can select value. Next, here also you can select the value you want. Next, we'll see how to develop an activity with animation like this. Okay, we'll see all those things in next video. Okay, thank you.